Hello out there. Good morning, dear Dharma friends. Thanks for coming. It's possible I may fade out, in which case I will leave you in Jim's fine company. I started feeling a little to a lot crappy last night, yesterday afternoon even, and this morning I had this experience. The T line means COVID, so I'm testing positive for COVID this morning. So I'm going to be staying home. I'll mention that again when we end the meditation because I want just let everybody know. I hugged 2 or 3 people yesterday at the Sangha, which actually shouldn't be a problem, but there you go. You never know. So, Jim, why don't you share those haiku, and I will then take over.
Okay. Well, at this time of the year, this time of this year, we're getting late starts on our gardens, but I ran into a poem, a haiku poem, just a short little glimpse of trust and hope is the theme that the translator introduced. And the haiku goes like this. Shaking the packet of seeds, asking, are you still alive? And then birth cry, the stars are all in place. This translator loves this coming together of disparate apparent conditions. The sun glitters on the path of a snail. I remember setting a garden in many years ago and resting for a moment and turning the shovel upside down, so the scoop was up and the sun was hitting the metal of the shovel, and it was just like this inner feeling of everybody's in their place. I was at the end of the row, having turned all the soil, taking a break, and the sun hit the metal and it just glistened. I write a haiku at that point, but I felt like a haiku. So here we sit with the sun coming through the window,
Sun.
the heart opening,
All right, dear friends.
and getting in touch with our seats. And Robert has a guided meditation for us.
Before that, though, thanks, Jim. The classic, the daily recollection as an antidote for fear. You'll recognize it. I am of the nature to age. I've not gone beyond aging. Is this true? Is it really true? I am of the nature to sicken. I've not gone beyond sickness. Is it true? Is it really true? I am of the nature to die. I've not gone beyond dying. Is this true? All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. Is this true? Everything? I am the owner of my intentional actions, my karma. I'm the heir to my karma, born of my karma, abide supported by my karma, related to my karma. Whatever karma I shall do, of that I shall be the heir. Thus should we frequently recollect, said the Buddha. I am of the nature to age. I've not gone beyond aging. I am of the nature to fall ill, to get sick. I've not gone beyond sickness. Is this true? I am of the nature to die. I've not gone beyond dying. Is this true? Do I really believe it? Do I act as though it were true? All that is mine, dear and beloved, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. Is this true? I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, born of my karma, abide supported by my karma, related to my karma. Is this true? Whatever karma I shall do, of that I shall be the heir. Thus should we frequently recollect, said the Buddha. So let us, dear friends, friends in the Dharma. That's such a wonderful category of friend. Let us gather together around the flame of refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Let us notice the mystery of being aware. Where does that awareness come from? It's completely mysterious. I take refuge in what is discovered with this awareness. It's not some theory. And I take refuge in the wonderful lineage of human beings since the time of the Buddha, who have gathered exactly as we are. Not through the same medium, obviously, but who gathered with our hearts together. Attending to now. And let us notice that the body breathes. What a fine home base. For as long as we live, the breath is a comfortable friend, or can be. If the breathing is somehow or another fraught with anxiety or tension, it's just as fine to sit and be aware of hearing, or to be aware of the life in the hands. Each breath has its moment of birth. As does each thought. Mindfulness is this remarkable added dimension. Not only is there seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, there is a knowing of it, a quality of objectivity. So it becomes not so much my breath as the breath, not so much my thoughts as the thoughts. So the mind of desire, of craving, of wanting, of dissatisfaction and wanting becomes the mind of wanting. And with the sweetness of love and compassion, we abide in the present moment exactly as it is. Perhaps the mind of disliking, of aversion, of fear, rejection. And this can be very subtle. Or the mind of restlessness, agitation, and worry, doubt comes in as well sometimes. A restless, agitated mind, unpleasant, familiar perhaps, but it becomes not I am restless, it becomes there is restlessness. Sloth and torpor, sleepy dullness. We abandon I am sleepy and tired. And with mindfulness, there is noticing, consciousness is kind of sleepy and tired here. Doubt, a little difficult to see sometimes. It's enough to have a person stop practicing. But it too becomes an interesting stellar constellation. Oh, there's doubt. And so we come home to now, sitting in the exquisite company of our good friends. Sitting around the warmth of the Dharma, one breath at a time, one moment of awakening from the trance at a time. Spiritual practice is all about starting over, now and now and now. We go on a ride with some stream of thoughts, some emotional turmoil, some fantasy. And then somehow mysteriously awareness emerges. What shall I do? First we notice mindfulness has arisen. Mindfulness, the great liberating light of awareness. And there is in-breathing and out-breathing. And when we turn toward the breath again, it's something called initial application. There is once again turning toward the primary object. And then this targeting works, and then there's presence with the breathing in. And then there's sustained application of concentration and awareness. And so there's a staying with, not a grasping after, or there's no violence or coercion involved at all. It's the effort of intention. I intend to do this. And so there is in breathing the expansion of the chest and abdomen, and out breathing the contraction, the falling. Or perhaps you might find it very interesting to pay attention to the breath at the nostrils, breathing in and breathing out. is restless. One of the symptoms is that we can't find the breath very easily, or we're not even interested in finding the breath. There is an urgency to whatever the worry is, or the planning, or the desire. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not like we're doing something wrong or making a mistake. It's like saying the weather is a mistake. It may be unseasonable, it may be strange, but it's not a mistake. And so with great love and compassion, we encounter this human experience. Oh, it's restlessness and agitation. Can I love this too? Can I be compassionate with this too? Oh, it's irritation and anger, perhaps fear. Can I love this too? Maybe there's discomfort in the body, pain even, chronic pain or episodic pain. We are deeply wired as mammals, as living creatures, to get away from pain. It's a matter of survival. But what about when we can't? Can we turn toward those sensations with a willingness to experience the unpleasant with love and compassion and mindfulness and concentration, to go deeply into the sensations of pain and increasingly discovering how impersonal they are? And please let us expand our field of awareness to include the whole body. There is this livingness that extends or that exists in the feet and the toes, in the Achilles tendon and the calves, in the shins and the knees, in the thighs. There's the interior of the thigh and the exterior and the front and the back and the deep interior, the giant bone, the femur, both legs. And how the legs come together with the genitals and anus, leading to all the sensations that are contained, cradled in the pelvis. The hips and the sides. All that life from the pubic bone to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the chest, to the throat. All the fingers. The thumbs, the wrists, the forearms. The elbows and upper arms, the shoulders. The neck, the throat, the jaw and the cheeks and the lips. It's all alive, isn't it? Awareness in the cheeks and the temples and the ears and the scalp. Awareness in the eyes. The whole body sits here. Our little temple of abiding in the vastness of the universe. It breathes. And please now let us notice the intention to allow the eyes to open and then letting them open, making the effort to open. Being present for seeing. Seeing. And let us take delight in each other. Seeing. Perhaps seeing with the eyes of blessing. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May the mind be peaceful and calm today. May any boundary setting you need to do be clear and straightforward. May all beings share in the merits of our practice. I awoke this morning with well, actually, it started last night. Yesterday afternoon, I started having a very familiar, unpleasant painfulness at the junction of my nose and throat. Very minor. And then by around 9:30, I started feeling really crappy. And then this morning I woke up. I don't feel as bad this morning, but I have this, which is 2 COVID tests. There's 2 lines there. There's the black line and the light line. The fact of the black line means that I'm testing positive for COVID. I did it twice just to be sure it wasn't a technical failure. So I was positive for COVID yesterday at PIMC. And I guess mistakenly, certainly, foolishly perhaps, I don't know, didn't insist that everyone wear masks, which had been our policy. But the COVID frequency is dropping remarkably here in Multnomah County, so the risk was, quote, low. So if you were there and if we had contact, you've had an exposure, who knows, not likely to transmit, but it could. I'm just starting to get a little headache. Yeah. So I'm on the adventure. I am of the nature to sicken. Yeah. And of course the mind goes back to, well, where did I get it? I have no idea. No idea. I was in a large crowd on Friday night at my stepson Adrian's graduation, but I was masked and most people there, well, actually that's not true. Most people were not masked. Yeah. But I was. Who knows? The mystery. So I'm not sure if I'll be here on the broadcast tomorrow morning. We'll see. Let's just see how bad I feel. So, what's happening in your adventure? The 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. Oh, I'm not particularly worried about the course of this because I'm pretty healthy, and also I've been double boosted at this point as of 10 days ago. So I should be able to manage to go through this okay. And I'll get some of the rest I've been saying I needed. So, what about you? And I will end, I think I'll end at 8.
I felt it was really timely that you said coming back to practice, that we just keep coming back as things get difficult and we fall into old things or frustrating things or whatever. And tomorrow just keeps coming, and as long as we show up, that also keeps coming. And it feels, I guess, comforting, sort of, that I can come home to something, to a practice, and that I like how you remind us that the breath has been with us from the beginning, and that it's been with us through everything, and it's still there. I also really appreciated your um, coming back into the body, that meeting every part of our self as we came back in. That was really lovely. Thank you for that.
Thanks for being here.
And of course, sorry for your diagnosis and all the stigma and whatever that comes around that. And I do hope, as we all do, I'm sure, that it's easy on you.
It's way beyond me. Yep. Reminds me a long time ago, my kids were in elementary school and they got lice. And there was someone at the school who attempted to shame them and me because they'd gotten lice because they weren't living cleanly enough or something. And we had a very interesting conversation about the reality of lice. Actually, that does remind me of something. I have a really good friend, student, who is in the midst of cancer treatment. And we meet weekly. She lives in a different state. And she is continuously confronted by people who tell her if she changed her attitude, she wouldn't have this symptom or that symptom. She wouldn't need to have her breasts removed because she would destroy the cancer with her change of attitude. That belief is epidemic in our culture with that horrible little book, The Secret, and the violence that is perpetrated in the name of, well, the person who believes in this crap is making themselves feel safe because, well, if I had that cancer, I would just change my attitude and then I would be okay. And what it does, of course, for her is that person is no longer a friend. That person is no longer being friendly. And so it limits the field of friendship. And you can even run in, or more than even, it often happens even among healthcare professionals. They have these strange beliefs that are not rooted in reality at all. So, Sherry, I hear you, I think. Like, why am I causing myself this COVID? It's absurd. Oh, you're unmuted, Sherry. Sherry's internet is sometimes pretty finicky. Okay, I'm going to mute you and pop in if you can or want to. Can't. Interesting. Huh. Oh, no, there it is. Good. So, anybody else have anything you'd like to share this morning? There's Sherry. Hi. Looks like you're in your car.
I am. I have an appointment in Courtney, and the ferry it gets so jammed up, especially Mondays and Thursdays when the Cortez ferry has priority, and it backs up people all morning waiting to get on the ferry. So I have to make this appointment. So
Are you
I'm
in the
trying to
ferry line
listen
right
to
now?
you every roll of the way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know right where you are.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yeah.
You know, if you meditated enough, you wouldn't need to take the ferry. You would just materialize yourself in the office of the doctor.
I'd love to do that.
You can't show anybody those kind of powers, though, because then you lose them. So,
Right. But you can't even talk about them, so you just may lose yours.
I lost teleportation a long time ago.
So you're recording. My sound in the vehicle. I just could not understand what you were speaking about, and I don't want you to repeat yourself. So if it's being recorded, I'll catch it later.
Okay, I was talking about the positive thinking crowd and the violence that's involved in blaming yourself or someone else for their illness.
That part I got, but you were speaking about yourself, I think.
Oh, again? I started being symptomatic last night, and a little tickle in my nose thing, and I'm testing positive for COVID this morning.
Oh dear. Right.
I mean, poor me. I have a home.
Yes.
I have a full refrigerator. Jennifer and I decided which room I would start staying in. I've got my little house here in the backyard, but you know, and I have a doctor if I need them, and I mean, and plus I'm fully vaccinated, plus 2 boosters. I mean, I'm at the top of the top of the pile, and I'm pretty healthy for my age and everything. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting to be sick. Fascinating, actually. I keep monitoring. There's a little headache starting now on the left side of my head, right up in here. Hadn't seen that till 10 minutes ago. Oh, and we have 3 air purifiers. Talk about luxury. So to see if Jen can maybe not get this.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdaughter is going for Nina is going to Spain for a 8-week Spanish immersion training next Saturday. And so I'm going to stay pretty isolated as best I can.
And will we see or hear you?
I'm going to try
Or?
coming in the mornings unless it's just too onerous.
Yeah.
For purely selfish reasons.
Yeah. Be well, Robert.
Thanks, Sherry. Hope you get to your appointment okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Well, anything else anyone would like to share before we sign off? Oh, a little cough happening. Oh, sense of smell's gone too. It is disappointing. I'm still drinking. I was given a bag of really fine coffee from Midnight Sun Coffee Roasters in the Yukon when I was there. It's very wonderful, odoriferous. And I made a cup of it this morning, and it was hot water. Quite interesting. No flavor, no scent. I suppose maybe I'll shift back to the usual coffee until I can smell again. Okay, let us close with our familiar chant. May all beings receive all blessings. Ready? You want to unmute if you want. Bhavatu sabe mangalam. Bhavatu sabe mangalam. Bhavatu sabe mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, dear friends. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jim. Thanks for being here.
Peace all.
May mindfulness be with us everywhere.
Be well.
Be well,
Adios.
Robert. Be well, everybody.
Be well,
Goodbye,
Robert.
friends on Facebook and YouTube.